Have you ever noticed how, once you turn 50, everyone seems to accept that low energy, lower drive, and fading passion are just part of getting older? But in all my experience supporting men over 50 as a vitality coach, I have seen the opposite. The really big and lasting changes don't come from miracle pills or impossible gym routines. They come when you start focusing on the basics that no one talks about. Today, we are diving deep into the 4 forgotten minerals for men, the ones that quietly power up your testosterone, rebuild motivation, and bring back that spark that makes every day feel more alive. My full disclaimer is in the description below. Let's be honest, how many things have you tried in the name of raising testosterone? Maybe you tried supplements or were sold on yet another miracle shake. Maybe your doctor simply told you to accept it or to just be grateful for what works. Most men are looking for shortcuts or hoping for a dramatic jump, but the foundation is almost always missing. These minerals are not headline-grabbing, but they are the building blocks your body cannot do without, especially after the age of 50. That is what makes this video different. I want you to become one of the few men who actually gets these minerals right and feels the difference where it counts. I see testosterone as a puzzle with many pieces. Hormones matter, and so do rest and movement. But beneath all that, there are 4 key minerals that make the whole engine run. Without them, nothing else really works. Not for focus, not for muscle growth, not for energy or desire. When you get these minerals dialed in, things start to shift on multiple fronts: your morning energy, your motivation, your satisfaction, and even how quickly you bounce back after a challenge. Let's take a second. Where are you listening from? If you want, leave a comment with your city or country. I love seeing men all over the world stepping up to build a new standard for what 50 and beyond should feel like. Now, I am sure you have seen all those ads claiming to boost testosterone overnight or trick your body into feeling young again. But the truth is, your body only produces healthy testosterone when it gets the right raw materials, not random powders, not ancient, miracle herbs. Your body needs the real stuff, the minerals that get quietly depleted as we age. That is why the diet that worked when you were 30 cannot keep up anymore. So let's talk about these minerals. Their names may sound familiar, but you probably never realize what they do for men's health and performance after 50. I am talking about magnesium, boron, zinc, and selenium. Each one plays a unique, science-backed role in your body's ability to create and use testosterone. But together, they truly unlock energy, confidence, and motivation, even stronger than most men's supplement routines. Let's start with mineral number 1, magnesium. Magnesium is sometimes called the relaxation mineral, but for men over 50, it is much more than that. It quietly powers over 300 different systems in your body, many of them directly responsible for hormone production, including testosterone. As you get older, your body loses magnesium faster than before. Stress, common medications, and even basic aging all rob you of this mineral, often without any obvious signs. You may not notice typical symptoms like muscle cramps or twitching, but a shortage of magnesium can show up as feeling tired too often, losing your drive, sleeping poorly, or not performing your best in the bedroom. Here is something I see all the time. Men boost their testosterone much more by fixing their magnesium level than by adding random T-booster pills. Magnesium does 3 powerful things for you. First, it raises the amount of free testosterone in your system. That means your body can actually use what it makes, not just leave it sitting locked up and unavailable. Second, magnesium helps lower hidden, ongoing inflammation. This inflammation is everywhere and blocks testosterone production, which is why it matters so much to keep it down. Third, magnesium improves real-life recovery. After a workout or just a tough, stressful day, this mineral helps your T levels rebound during rest, which is when natural testosterone should naturally rise. One of my favorite try this tonight tips is to put together a magnesium-rich meal and see how you feel the next morning. This could be as simple as sautéed spinach and mushrooms in olive oil, sprinkled pumpkin seeds on your salad, and a couple of squares of high cacao dark chocolate for dessert. Keep track of how you rest and recover. You might just notice deeper sleep, better energy, or a subtle lift in mood. Moving now to mineral number 2, boron. Boron is almost never mentioned when people talk about men's health, and that is a big mistake. This mineral works behind the scenes to help your body process testosterone and use vitamin D, which is another critical part of strong, reliable hormone function. Men who get enough boron often notice improvements that go beyond testosterone. They report sharper focus, stronger joints, better bone support, and a smoother, more stable drive for life and pleasure. After 50, your body benefits from every bit of support it can get, and boron is the underdog that holds things together. So where do you actually find boron? It can feel like a hidden treasure, but watch for these foods: dried fruits like prunes, raisins, and apricots, as well as nuts, avocados, apples, and red grapes. Boron even shows up in small amounts in coffee and wine, and a handful of these foods through the week is enough to help your body fill those gaps. One simple idea: stir a few dried prunes into your morning oats, or mix avocado into your lunch salad. Small, regular steps. That is where the real magic happens. I want to encourage you to think about what you are already eating. Do you reach for any of those boron-rich foods without realizing it? Sometimes the habits you already have are helping more than you know. Try building a week with at least 2 or 3 of those choices and notice whether your focus or energy shift. Let's pull both of these ideas together with something I recommend to my clients. You do not need to make your nutrition complicated. Instead, think creatively about how to stack minerals in meals that you genuinely enjoy. For example, a breakfast bowl of oatmeal with pumpkin seeds and fresh apple slices delivers both magnesium and boron. If you need an afternoon snack, reach for plain almonds, dried apricots, or even a simple trail mix of sunflower seeds and walnuts. These habits are not only easy, they are enjoyable and give your body what it quietly craves after 50. We have covered 2 of the 4 major minerals. This is just the start. In the next section, I will show you how mineral number 3 and mineral number 4 can move the needle even more, especially for men who are ready to go beyond average and claim a new level of vitality. Let me know in the comments if you have already tried any of these changes. What have you noticed? How do you feel when you keep magnesium or boron in your meals for a week straight? Real change comes from men sharing their success and challenges together, and your questions or experiences might be what motivates another man to stick with it. Stay with me, because the best proof is always in what you feel every day, not just in the theory. Are you ready to find out what happens when you finally get all 4 minerals working for you instead of against you? Let's pick up our journey through the 4 forgotten minerals with the third and perhaps most misunderstood of all. In fact, if you ask most men to list what supports testosterone, they might mention protein or maybe zinc, but almost never mention what's coming up next. And yet, the body absolutely depends on this mineral every day, especially after the age of 50, when the demands for recovery, repair, and hormone conversion reach new levels. So, mineral number 3 is zinc. Now, zinc might get a nod when people talk about immunity or fighting off winter colds, but if you're a man over 50, zinc is the secret ingredient that can either quietly sabotage or supercharge your testosterone, mood, energy, and performance. That's not an exaggeration. Zinc is actually required for the very enzyme reactions that transform cholesterol into testosterone. Without enough of it, no matter how much you exercise or rest, your results will plateau. It's like trying to build a house with no tools. Let's go deeper for a moment. Every man's testicular cells, the very place testosterone is made, require a steady supply of zinc to function at full power. When zinc is even a little low, those cells underperform, and you might notice a subtle but real drop in drive, confidence, physical recovery, and even that edge you used to take for granted. Some men experience less powerful morning arousals, or that resilient feeling of being ready for anything becomes a memory instead of a daily reality. But here's where it gets even more interesting. As men age, absorption of zinc through the gut drops, and the body's demand goes up because low-level inflammation, medication, and stress all zap stores far faster than in earlier decades. You could be eating the same as always and still losing ground without realizing why. Food provides the answer, not just pills. While oysters top the zinc charts, I'm not suggesting you eat those every day unless you happen to live by the coast and love the taste. There are plenty of delicious ways to work zinc into your meals every single week. Beef that's grass-fed is a powerful source. Lentils, chickpeas, and pumpkin seeds are underrated champions. Even tahini drizzled over veggies, or a sprinkle of toasted sesame seeds on noodles or salads can begin to move the needle. What works best, and this is worth really taking in, is spreading out these foods through your week rather than going for a single zinc bomb. That way, your body gets a regular, steady supply, the type it can actually use to make the fuel you need most. To anchor this in real life, let me tell you about Frank, a client of mine who was convinced his best years were behind him. He was a regular at the gym, ate okay, but never really paid attention to zinc. After tracking his meals for a week, we realized he was barely getting half the daily amount needed for optimal testosterone support. By making a few swaps, adding pumpkin seeds to breakfast yogurt, eating grass-fed beef once a week, and keeping a small jar of sunflower seeds at his desk for snacks, he noticed a difference within 3 weeks. His words, "My morning energy is up, I'm sharper at work, and my recovery after workouts feels like it did a decade ago. My wife says I even look more positive." Sometimes, all it takes is restoring a building block most men never think about. But I don't want to stop here, because the mineral that's often missed even in the best men's health routines is the fourth on our list. It's not in every multivitamin, almost nobody mentions it in basic blood panels, and yet it's capable of moving the needle not just for testosterone, but for mood, thyroid health, immune response, and, surprisingly, fertility and pleasure as well. Mineral number 4 is selenium. You might have heard the name, but unless you've worked closely with a nutritionist or read deep into medical journals, the role of selenium for men over 50 remains almost a secret weapon. Here's the key. Selenium is a critical cofactor for a hormone-regulating enzyme called glutathione peroxidase, a master antioxidant in your body. When selenium is present and doing its job, you experience less oxidative stress, more stable testosterone, and even improved sperm health and motility, no matter your age. So what does this mean in practical terms? Selenium acts as the bodyguard for all the good stuff you want to keep flowing. It helps maintain high-quality testosterone by protecting the tissues and cells that make it. It supports a healthy thyroid, which indirectly fuels motivation, metabolism, and even the clarity of your thought processes. And practical studies have found that men with higher selenium intake report not only better physical confidence, but more steady mood, energy, and healthy immune response. The challenge is, selenium is needed in tiny amounts and in some parts of the world. The United States, South America, or parts of Europe, soils can be rich or poor in it, meaning the food supply varies widely in selenium content. If you don't know where your dietary selenium is coming from, you could miss out completely. Here's where food gets fun. The single richest source of selenium, by far, is the humble Brazil nut. Just 2 Brazil nuts per day deliver all you need and can be eaten plain, crushed into smoothies, or chopped over oats or salad. If you're not into Brazil nuts, look for wild-caught fish, especially sardines, salmon, halibut, and tuna. Eggs, turkey, and sunflower seeds are also helpful, and rotating these through the week builds a strong base. Let's talk strategies for harnessing this mineral. You might want to set up a selenium ritual. Keep a small jar of Brazil nuts by your coffee maker so you never forget. You can alternate Brazil nuts with a fish dinner twice a week and eggs 3 mornings out of 7. These micro habits blend seamlessly into your life and, over time, transform how you feel. Some men worry about too much selenium, and it's true, overdosing repeatedly is not wise. But getting it from real foods, not supplements, protects you from excess and delivers selenium in a context that helps your body absorb what it needs, leaving the rest. Now that we've covered these 4 minerals, magnesium, boron, zinc, and selenium, let's tie everything together so it becomes a living, breathing part of your daily routine. Momentum comes not only from knowing the what and why, but from blending the how right into your habits. Where most men fail is stopping at information and forgetting about application. A sustainable way to start is planning your meals around the minerals. Make breakfast your anchor point: overnight oats with pumpkin seeds and chopped Brazil nuts, almond milk, and a handful of berries. Lunches can feature leafy green salads with grilled chicken, avocado, sunflower seeds, and a scoop of lentils. Dinners might star wild-caught salmon with sautéed spinach and garlic, with a side of roasted sweet potatoes and sesame-topped broccoli. Snack on apples with almond butter, a trail mix with dried prunes, apricots, and walnuts, and the occasional dark chocolate square to keep magnesium up and your palate happy. But even more powerful than meal plans is turning these choices into rituals that engage your senses and build anticipation. I encourage my clients to involve their partners or families, try a power bowl, dinner night with everyone picking ingredients rich in different minerals, or make a game of who can try the most new mineral-rich foods in a week. Not only does this make change enjoyable, it creates shared memories and healthy competition. Two things that boost motivation for the long haul. Here's another winning strategy: track how you feel as you experiment. Do you notice a better mood on days with fish or Brazil nuts? Does your energy shift after focusing on leafy greens and legumes for a week? Maybe your workouts recover faster, your sleep deepens, or you catch yourself spontaneously wanting to be more active or intimate. Keeping a quick daily note on your phone can reveal patterns you'd otherwise miss. Hydration and movement multiply the effect of all minerals you consume. The more you move, the more efficiently your body cycles these elements to the tissues where testosterone is actually made and used: the testes, muscles, brain, and even heart. Water supports absorption and circulation, delivering nutrients to every cell with maximum effectiveness. So, as you work these minerals into your meals, couple them with daily walks, moderate exercise, or even light stretching routines. Results compound fast. Let's quickly cover some common roadblocks that slow down or block your mineral momentum. Highly processed foods like mass-produced breads, salty snacks, sugary drinks, and deep-fried anything not only rob your meals of minerals, but sometimes leach them from your system, forcing your body to play catch-up instead of peak performance. Alcohol and excess caffeine can also interfere with absorption or speed up loss. So, balance is always better than extremes. If you love coffee, try pairing it with a mineral-rich breakfast rather than drinking it solo on an empty stomach. Finally, never underestimate the social and emotional booster of inviting others on the journey. Sharing a favorite new recipe, encouraging a friend to try swapping one processed snack for a real food alternative, or getting accountability from your partner on your mineral rituals makes the whole process easier and more fun. Longevity habits rarely last in isolation. They thrive with community and shared progress. Now, as we wrap up this blueprint for revving up testosterone after 50, remember this: you don't need to overhaul everything overnight, and you certainly don't need to chase complicated miracle solutions. Step by step, meal by meal, these forgotten minerals rebuild the foundation your body is craving. The best benefits show up not just in lab tests, but in how you wake up each day. The energy you bring to your relationships, the drive you feel to get after your goals, and that quiet, satisfied confidence that comes from knowing you're supporting your body the way it deserves. If you made it this far, I'd love to know, what's the first small mineral ritual you're inspired to try? Drop it in the comments and let's build a community of men raising the bar for vitality after 50. And if you want even more guides, tips, and straight talk on male health, make sure to subscribe and share this with someone who's ready to upgrade their everyday performance, one meal and one mineral at a time. See you in the next one.